Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to use Rucsac to solve word problems involving fractions. And in particular, we're going to be looking at how you solve a word problem which has proper fractions being multiplied by a whole number. And we're going to be using the Rucsac method. If you don't know what the Rucsac method is, there is another video on the list on the Year 6 blog which goes through the Rucsac method, but I've written it out here again, and I'm very briefly going to go through the steps again. Okay, so the first step in Rucsac is to read the question. You read the question very carefully, make sure that you understand what's being asked. The second step is to understand and underline. Make sure that you underline all the relevant parts of the question, all the important bits, and you highlight them. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to read the question and then we're going to underline. So Jenny had $40. She spent 1/8 of it on food and $20 on a new pencil case. So how much does Jenny have left? Well, we're at the understand and underline part, so we need to underline all the things that we think are going to be important. Well, I think we need to underline that she started with $40. Okay? She spent 1/8 of it. Okay, so spending, when she's spending it, that means there's going to be some subtraction in there. And $20 on a new pencil case. So she spent 1/8 of it on food and $20 on a new pencil case. But the important bits are she started with 40, she spent 1/8 of it, and then she spent another $20. So how much does she have left altogether? Okay, so the next step is to choose the operation. Well, as I mentioned before, it looks as if we're going to be using some subtraction, but in order to do that, we are going to have to work out what is 1/8 of $40 first. So it looks to me like if you've covered the proper fractions and being multiplied by whole numbers, you'll know that we need to do some multiplication. All right, and then we're going to get an answer from this, which will then need to be added to the $20. So there's going to be some addition, and then it looks as if we have to find out how much Jenny has left. And that means that we're going to have some subtraction. So there are going to be 3 calculations there. All right, and estimate and solve. Okay, well, I'm going to estimate. We've got $40 here, and we know that we're subtracting 20. So I know Jenny is going to have not more than $20 left. And 1/8 is about 10%, so I think she's going to have about $5 left. So I'm going to estimate that she's going to have roughly $5, give or take. But we need to work that out, obviously. So now we need to solve it. Well, as you know, I'm a big fan of the chocolate bar pictures, so we're going to draw our chocolate bar. And that's going to represent Jenny's $40. So if we draw a little arrow there and there, that is Jenny's $40. Okay, and we need to make sure that we've cut it up into 8 pieces because we're looking at this 1/8. So we need to cut this up into 8 pieces. So that's roughly halfway. Okay, and let's see, about there, there. They're not going to be quite even, but I'm giving it my best go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 squares for our fraction here, and we're going to look at one of those 8. So we're going to be looking at how much is this 1/8 here. Okay, so now we need to calculate the amount of money spent on her food. So we're looking at 1/8 of $40, which, as you should remember from the previous videos, is the same thing as saying 1/8 multiplied by 40. Okay, and we can write that as 1/8 times 40 over 1. Okay, and multiply that out. 1 times 40 is 40, and 8 times 1 is 8. So 8 into 40, you should know is, if you know your 8 times table, should be 5. Okay, so that means that 1/8 of 40 is $5. Alright, so we'll just write that over here. 1/8 of $40 equals $5. Okay, and that makes sense. I mean, 1/8 here, so that would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Alright, so that's the first part of our question. That's the multiplication looked after. Okay, so now we have to add. We now have to add the $20 and the answer from this question, which is 5. Well, $20 plus $5, I'm writing on a slant here, sorry, equals $25. Okay, so that's our addition looked after. And now we need to work out how much does she have left. Well, we've started with 40, so write 40 here. Subtract this amount here, which is the total that she has spent. Subtract 25. And you'll see that my estimate was a way off. It's $15. Okay, that's why it's just an estimate. Okay, all right, so that means that Jenny has $15 left out of her 40. All right, and just double check that. 40 is 40. It's $5, that's right. We take the 20 she's already spent plus the 5 gives us $25, that's right. 40 subtract 25, 15, yep. And the estimate is not very close, so we're going to give that a Okay, so I hope that's been of some help to you, and make sure that you use the rucksack method to help organize your ideas. Okay, good luck.